Hello everyone and welcome to the Kansas finale in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, the Champions 200 at the Kansas Motor Speedway. For the final race of the season, the second time this year, especially after an all-star race, which was won by Austin Johnson, a championship contender, we are back at the great Kansas Speedway. With me today in the booth is Peter Onjak.
Back once again, back for more madness and hopefully a good finale.
Speaking of Peter, his team's number 44, Anderson Reed, starting on pole. Alongside him is the number 28 of TJ Hanley. And then your championship contenders, Austin Johnson and Jake Galloway, coming into this race tied in the point standings, third and fourth, with Colton Lane starting 10th. An action-packed field of 35 drivers for 41 laps here at Kansas.
Should be a lot of fun. You see there, obviously still there on the second row, 48 and 3 right by each other. Lane starting a little bit back, but not too far back, I'd say. That 14 is one of the strongest cars on the grid, and he can work his way right up to the other contenders.
Now, in the practice sessions, it was Jake Galloway having a very fast lap time, but Austin Johnson, a two-time winner at Kansas, won the All-Star race back-to-back for Monster Motorsports and JRI, so it could be interesting to see if that three will come home and bring the victory and the championship to Chevy in their final season in the MDCS.
That would be something with Pontiac coming in next year. I'd like to give a shout out to the driver in the 7th spot, JJ Roberts. He won at Jukasa out in Canada earlier this season. He was the inaugural RBSTS, the first ever winner of that series, and that series is basically retiring too. Yeah, Roberts is going to be stepping away from the NSDCA action, so we're going to thank him on a career, and I believe he's going to get a top 10 points finish if all goes his way today.
JJ Roberts is 8th in points. He has about 19 points over Jesse Turner, and with Turner starting very far back, that is helpful as well. But these three that we mentioned aren't the only drivers in for a title hunt. Mathematically, both Anderson Reed, Alex Benyako could win this title. They are 31 and 32 points out respectively, but Reed with this pole could show some on-auto speed and get their third championship in the Mountain Dew Custom Series.
That'd mean a lot, but obviously we're way in the hole. Here's my team owner, basically, in me speaking. But yeah, we're in the hole. We're just going to do our best, try and win, just do everything we can, because we still got a shot, and we're not going to let that stop us.
And with this, the 35 cars, just because there are 5 drivers fighting for a championship does not mean these guys are going to go down easy. TJ Hanley putting himself in the mix, as well as Austin Murray. You got Daniel Elliott, the Red Bull Short Track West champion in that 81, as well as JJ Roberts in his final race, and Stephen Wallace Jr. all inside this top 10 with them. We're going to go ahead down trackside for the commands to fire the engines here at the Kansas Motor Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
And with that, the engines are fired here at the Kansas Motor Speedway for the running of the Champions 200. The fourth time we've come to a finale named the Champions 200. First it was Martinsville, then Atlanta, and now we settled on Kansas. These drivers are all ready for 41 laps here today. Who do you have taking home the victory and taking home the championship?
Well, I'd like to harken back to last year where the 44 here in the MDCS was on pole with Logan Cloud, but unfortunately he didn't roll off from the grid. A lot of confusion and frustration with that last year, but hopefully the 44 can do it this year. If not, I expect it to be one of the other championship contenders. All 5 of the mathematically eligible title cars are probably the 5 fastest in the field. But you never know. Kansas is a crazy track. We might see an underdog pull it off, just like Daniel Elliott there in 6th. He's trying to make a name for himself. This is a great opportunity to do that in that Veterans Oil 81.
If you remember back to season number 2 with the All-Star Open when Casey Mears blew up and destroyed the majority of the field. We could see that happen again today, though unlikely. Remember last season, it was DJ Gibson blowing up and losing the title to Tib Foster in the number 40. Coming down to take the green flag. The Champions 200 at Kansas, 41 laps in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Coming down to the green flag, and we are racing. The green flag is in the air, and Reed and Hanley lead us down.
Great launch for the 44.
Colton Lane a little high and bounces off of the wall there. You'll see these guys really pushing the limits there. Now coming into this race, if Johnson and Galloway do not lead any laps, it is whoever finishes higher between them that would win the title, as long as Colton Lane did not beat them as well. Johnson into turn number 3, and he's going to move up into second. Austin Murray up to third, bringing Angiato right to the front.
Austin Johnson, that car has a great setup on it. He's going to try and lead lap number 1 coming down, but Anderson Reed leads it for now, but Johnson looking to take it here in the 1. Benyako 3 wide in the back.
And that's going to put Galloway 3 wide. You see Galloway's teammate TJ Hanley starting up front. Now Galloway really struggling here. Last season he entered this series with JRI. Now he is going against both of their drivers. Austin Johnson out in front. A lap lead gives him a bonus point over the number 48, but up the track, here comes Austin Murray.
Murray trying to get to the bottom. This is going to be close. This is for the championship, and Murray is going to edge the 3, and Jake Galloway has probably been told that by Jake Jefferson over the radio. The 3 did not lead.
Alex Benyako and Anderson Reed, again, they are very big wild cards here, but say the 3, 14, and 48 all wreck out without leading laps. If they won the race, they could win the title, so it's not over for them yet. Nicky Morrison, this 42, up in the top 5 with these championship contenders. Already an exciting start to the Champions 200. Reed and Benyako making it 3 wide on Austin Johnson.
Johnson did get that rocket ship of a start, but it looks like he may have just a extremely short run car. Seems to be dropping back already, or maybe he's just being patient. Doesn't want to risk tearing up that equipment early, but it's an Angiato 1-2 right now, and here comes the third Dodge. Jake Galloway underneath Benyako, trying to make sure he's the one winning it all.
Jake Galloway for Texas Star Racing. TSR, if you remember back to Season 1 in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, they came up so short with team owner Jay Jefferson to the number 44 of Peter Onjak, our own commentator here, back in Season number 1 in an all-out slugfest. This is the first time the championship comes into this with a tie for the points lead and such a close battle. Any of these 3 drivers could win the title.
Oh!
Very
Man,
close there.
Close.
Johnson and Curtis getting together. Johnson's going to be able to save it. His championship could have gone up in smoke right there. As you see Galloway up front with a very fast 48, trying to hold off the 2 Angiato drivers, as well as Colton Lane in that 14, bringing up the rear. He's in 5th. Austin Johnson up there in 9th, but now Galloway goes at it against the Angiato duo.
Dodge is going to want this title no matter what. Here comes the 48 underneath the 40. Well, A.J. Jones might not be happy with the prospect of Galloway leading, and here comes Reed, but he's going to back out of it. A.J. Jones is not going to be happy with the 48 leading, but he's going to be happy that Lane and Johnson still have shown speed this race, and Austin Murray, his new driver in the CRTS next year, has shown a ton of speed the second half of this season. And here comes Lane trying to get third away, but Galloway did lead the lap.
That will give Jake Galloway a bonus point. Now what he's looking for is to dominate this race. Get that extra bonus point that could give him much more. Colton Lane came into this race 3 points behind. However, if you win the race, you get 40 points plus the bonus point for leading the final lap. So that'd be 41. Galloway finishes second. He'd get 38 with a 37 for second plus the bonus point. That would mean a tiebreaker. Galloway, with his 3rd win last week at Talladega, means that he will break any tiebreaker between himself, Johnson, and Lane, unless Johnson wins the race and gets his 3rd win of the season, but that would not be a tiebreaker. Colton Lane up to 3rd. Now Alex Benyako moving himself inside the top 5.
These guys just being patient. There's still a lot of racing to go. We're not even to lap 10 yet as we get a wide angle of all the cars flying by. Austin Johnson has slipped back. I believe he's still in the top 10, however, in that number 3. He's sitting behind the 83 and the 81 here. Elliott moving underneath Irving Allison.
And Austin Johnson, he had that early speed at the beginning, and then DJ Curtis and him got together. That might have given him a tire rub, might be an issue on that number 3. However, if you remember, the Mountain Dew Custom Series usually does not have any pit stops. We had that one rare incident at Texas earlier this season. However, these 41 laps should go without any pit issues. The battle up in front of him, though, between his future teammate and Daniel Elliott and Irving Allison, they're fighting hard for this 7th position.
Definitely, but look at that. Nicky Morris passed Alex Benyako. Morris has made more news off the track than on the track this season as he took over ownership of Red Bull Motorsports, and now he's going to pass the 53, which seemed to be unbeatable at the 1.5 miles for many years here going on.
And Benyako driving the car that DJ Gibson drove almost to a championship last season. This year most likely will come up short. Caution is out, and we are going to be around first time. Austin Delgado, Zachary Fitzwater, Jacob Rose in his own 38, all involved.
This is going to shake everything up as Galloway seemed to have a bit of an advantage over Reed. And now Colton Lane will be right back up there. He's still going to be behind Austin Murray, but he's going to be right up there. As Galloway's still racing back. Fitzy's done. Delgado's done. Rose is probably done as well. So a hard wreck for some of the midfield guys. You hate to see it for these guys. They're giving their all every week, trying to improve, trying to get a top 10. They're just obviously being in this race overshadowed by the championship battle. But now Jake Galloway is going to get more and more bonus points as he leads under caution.
And Galloway, 21 points or 21 laps led in this race would lock him up the most laps led. However, with multiple drivers leading, that's getting closer and closer. Galloway has the most laps led so far, just trying to continue that. You see Anderson Reed in the 44 as well, but Jacob Rose moving from FAR at the end of the season. This is his own team with Jake Galloway. That car is totaled. Zachary Fitzwater stalled on the track. You see Austin Johnson keeps losing spots. And Austin Delgado in the 47, his final start of the season. But I believe he will be moving to the Mountain Dew Custom Series next year for Ange Auto.
He's going to Kamikaze next year in the 46, but yeah. You just hate to see it sometimes, especially for all these small guys trying to make a name for themselves. Obviously, Fitzwater was the other car involved. He's made his name for himself, and he's going to the Truck Series next season. So, the longest tenured driver in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, his last race as a full-time MDCS driver ended early.
And with that as well, Zachary Fitzwater with rumors of Season 5 being his final season, as well as multiple drivers here. As we said at the pre-race, J.J. Roberts, if I can find him there, he is in the 14th position, retiring at the end of the season, as well as the 32 of Camden Luca retiring from full-time racing. He has said he will be making the road course races and definitely wants to drive in the Valvoline 200, but with how much of a struggle he's had the past few seasons, he does want to hang up full-time racing. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out our first caution here on lap 13 of 41.
So Mathis Wells racing Zachary Fitzwater here in the midfield, just gives him a little tap. 59 gets sideways. Fitzy has it saved. Kansas has a lot of paved runoff here, but he doesn't get off the gas. Grass gives him no traction. Right up into Delgado, right up into Rose, and a hard hit for the 47, tumbling on his side on his roof. And these 3 days will end early here at Kansas.
Back live at Kansas, Gunnar Matheson slow on the apron. Looks like JRI's drivers not getting out of this one safe. The 3 has a bit of damage from DJ Curtis, but Gunnar Matheson now going to be out of this one most likely, slow on the apron, as we are still pacing around here at Kansas. Should be coming back green this time by. As well, all 3 drivers from that incident out of the race.
If I'm AJ, I'm sweating. I'm sweating in that pit box. I don't know if he's on the 14 or the 3, but you got to be worried. One of your cars has issues, a mechanical issue. You can't control that. The drivers can't control the mechanical issue if you don't know what it is. So they got to bring this car down immediately, got to sort it out, and got to figure out what the 14 and 3 can do so they don't blow up as well.
Those JRI drivers, again, 2 of the 3 of them fighting for the championship, or 2 of the 4 of them this weekend, again with the 81 in the field, fighting for the championship, all of them inside the top 15. But again, on this restart, as we got the 1 to go signal, you got 3 Dodges over 2 Chevys, then you got a Ford, a Toyota, a Chevy, and a Ford, and then 2 Fords rounding out this top 10. So the Dodges up front could be playing a bit of help for Galloway, but still, Reed trying to win this title needs Galloway out of this front spot, but it might be too little too late with those 3 drivers damaged. It might not be enough if these guys DNF'd right now. So Reed and Benyako close to being eliminated from the title as Galloway leads.
As much as we appreciate Dodge, we want Dodge to succeed. As much as we like TSR, we want them to succeed. I told my guys, no team orders, race them as like you would any other race.
And that, I believe, is what all this field is. You see RBM's Nicky Morris. He was fighting with Austin Johnson. He's trying to get around Colton Lane, so there is no real teamwork here, especially, remember, at Gateway, definitely no team orders for that 3 to spin that 14. We'll see what will happen here. But Galloway, Reed, Murray bringing us to the line.
Pace car down and away. Lap 16 of 41. We're back to green at Kansas.
Galloway with a great jump is going to pull away from Reed and Murray. Lane up the track. Here comes Nicky Morris. Alex Benyako there as well. Benyako looking for a top 5 run today, but Reed did not get off of this on the restart and on the gas fast enough. Galloway pulls out to about a 2-car length lead down the back straightaway.
Benyako just saved Colton Lane because Morris couldn't throw his nose underneath the 14. Now Benyako's going to slip up as here comes Irving Allison to the bottom.
And Irving, he had a great run in the All-Star race here. He won the All-Star Open in that 83 car. He is up inside the top 5 looking for that first career win before he goes to the CRTS next season. Reed bounces off the wall a little bit. Lane moves up to 3rd, Allison into 5th, and Reed drops back to the 4th spot.
Yeah, I got the wall on entry there as this 14 seems to be quick here as the tires are wearing. He's trying to peek his nose underneath the 40. Can't do it quite yet. Doesn't want to make any boneheaded moves like Fitzwater did and send his car into the wall.
Austin Johnson getting real aggressive. Move DJ Curtis, Eric Monaco, now Nicky Morris. They're all 3 wide. Johnson really needs to get back up there if he wants to win this title. A 2-time winner at Kansas. He won at Texas with the 77 last season, so he is very strong on these 1.5 miles, as well as winning Kentucky. Do not count him out during this race as Murray and Lane now starting to catch Jake Galloway.
Galloway's advantage from the restart is slipping away as it's going to be a 3-car battle for the lead. Just got to time your move perfectly, and here comes Lane. He got a big drive off at turn 4, and he's looking at the inside of the Smithfield Dodge.
And Colton Lane, remember, came into this race 3 points behind. Meanwhile, looking for the race lead on the 48, into the corner, moves him up the track. They are going to be side by side coming off the corner. This could be for a championship right here between these 2 drivers.
Full attack from Colton Lane into 1, but he had to check up because he was right on the white paint there on the bottom, and Galloway's going to really drive it away. Boy, Lane, he just drove it in, and now he's just trying to regather himself after he had to catch the car in 1. He's got just gave Murray 2nd spot back, yeah.
And Austin Johnson back in this 3, moving on up. Now Irving Allison looking for the 3rd spot, going to move around Colton Lane. Lane at this point in the race with Galloway leading these laps, clocking away, possibly going to get the most laps at this point led. That means Lane would need Galloway to finish at least 3rd if Lane wants to win the race. Galloway knows what he has to do. Win this race, finish in those top spots, because Johnson and Lane, if they could win this race, that would knock Galloway out of the championship as he's seated right now. But you also have this 3 having to dig himself out of a hole that he started himself after the beginning of the race, but he is moving back up inside the top 5, trying to get around Irving Allison for that 5th spot.
They better start moving quick. It's halfway here at Kansas, and Jake Galloway almost has a 2nd lead on Austin Murray. Colton Lane working the bottom once again. Can he run down the 40?
Now, if he can get around that 40, that's one thing, but can he catch and pass the 48? Lane has one of the best body shops in the garage looking to the inside of Murray. So that means this 14 can tear through the air great, but the best engine program goes to the Texas Star Racing Team, and they are pulling away, showing that might here in that 48. Now Reed looking to the outside of Colton Lane. That is for the 3rd position with Anjato's number 44. Anderson Reed, I believe the yellow lights were on. Yes, caution is out.
Racing back, Lane's going to hold down 3rd where he was on the last restart. But Jake Galloway, he's basically led from nearly the drop of the green, and I think that this caution is just going to seal the deal for most laps led.
And it should. There was a spin here. It looks like Mathis Wells might have been a piece of it again, and Dusty Neal slowing that 97, as well as Alex Peters. Wasn't sure if he was that far back at the beginning. Might have been the shuffle, but Neal and Wells both look like they were involved in this incident. So Dusty Neal's going to be sent 3 wide here. Luca comes down on him. Wells has nowhere to go and hits the 97. A spin on the back straightaway. No need for a caution there, but a caution is thrown anyway. Dusty Neal was down at the back of the pack and on the runoff area. So that caution definitely not needed, but we'll bring you guys back to the action here. Champions 200 at Kansas. Back live here at the Champions 200 at the Kansas Motor Speedway. It is Jake Galloway and Austin Murray leading us around lap 25 of 41. Lights on the pace car will keep going, but I think this is a good time to talk about this race strategy for these championship drivers. You got Lane and Johnson in 3rd and 6th, still having to maneuver around some fast drivers, but Jake Galloway with the speed up front. What do you think these JRI guys are going to have to do on this restart to take out this 48 and try to win the title?
They got to pass the 40 right away. They got to pass the 83 and the 44 right away. They got to get to Galloway as soon as they can so he can't drive away just like he did. They got 15 laps to do it because I think the lights will go off next time around.
And Galloway, a very strong contender this season. You remember, though, in the mid-season, he had a very big mid-season slump, had 2 wins in the first few races, and didn't win until Talladega, but really lost his championship edge, fell back behind the JRI drivers as much as 20 points until Johnson and Lane got together at Gateway. Johnson in 6th, Lane in 3rd. Do these drivers move each other out of the way for the title if they can get rid of Jake Galloway?
If they can get rid of Jake Galloway, they're going to be fighting between themselves. I have no doubts about that. Those two obviously have gotten into each other in the past, and I don't think they're going to be afraid to do it again if it means a championship.
And with this championship, Kansas last season, a great finish to that. Between the 40 and 53, it was DJ Gibson's locked up all race long until a mechanical failure. You see, we get the lights out. Now, Jake Galloway, he's been dominating this race. But what if his team also has a mechanical failure, just like Gibson, and costs him the title? Anything can happen here at Kansas. In both races last season for the championship, both had a driver who was dominating the race get caught up in something late, with Blake, of course, being spun in the final restart. But Galloway and this team, does JJ have to be sweating out up there trying to make sure that this car is not going to fail on him?
Talked to the team this morning. They said that they had saved their best equipment from since like the mid-season point, just to make sure they had the best car, best engine going into this race to give them the best possible chance of winning the championship. Now, real quick, before we go to green, I like to take a nod to 9th place, Eric Monaco. He ran good in the All-Star Open, so Smart Motorsports must have the setup down here at Kansas. He obviously got taken out in a wreck with Wyatt Quayle, which took him out of the All-Star race, but Eric Monaco showing once again that he's got the speed here at Kansas.
And Monaco trying to drive for Smart Motorsports. Next season, I believe he is returning to the team, and Smart Motorsports looking to improve after their first season. Has been a pretty good success for that O2 team. He sits 20th in points. Coming down to take the green flag. We're going to have just 15 to go here at Kansas. Lane with the jump. Murray does not get a good jump on Galloway, but green flag is back in the air.
I don't know what Lane was thinking going high. That's what he was thinking. Got the run. Slicing to the bottom.
And
he
Lane
did struggle. He struggled, but there again, he's proven me wrong. He struggled passing guys on the bottom. They just blew past the 40. Murray and Reed must be backing out, but look at that. Austin Johnson taken high by his own teammate.
And Monaco almost hit him. They are getting real close here. Now the Angiato drivers on the bumper. Murray almost sideways. Each other. Team owner for Angiato almost crying up here in the booth, but now Lane is in 2nd. Coming after Jake Galloway. This is for the title, but Lane real slow in 1 and 2. Galloway strong all around this track.
Irving Allison, the great wild card, sitting in 3rd. He missed races early in the season. Thought he was going to be one of the many NSDCA busts. Now he's rallying, trying to win this race, just like Paul Jackson did here last year, I believe, in the 10 car, trying to prove that he is worthy of his seat and worthy of that truck ride next season for SBR.
Don't count out 4th and 5th. Alex Benyako, it's been a while since he went to victory lane. He has 2 wins on the season. But Benyako, the qualifying speed, very strong. His racing speed hasn't been that good. He can't win the title now. He's too far out with all those drivers still, with those drivers out of the race. But up in 4th, just looking to finish out this season strong. The battle for the race lead, not really a battle, as Galloway continuing to pull away. But Lane is not going to let him down here with just 12 to go at Kansas. Can Lane get up there and pressure him?
Here comes Benyako. Benyako knows he has to win, even though it's a very big long shot. Galloway maybe even leading the most laps, possibly could have taken him out because there's some DNFs as well. I'm not sure, but Austin Johnson is down in 10th. Is it too late for the 3 team?
I don't think they have it. They need another caution, and they need to pass drivers now. There is no way this 3 team's going to be able to contend up there. Irving Allison, look at Eric Monaco, J.J. Roberts, look at Curtis, the double zeros on pit road. That's Ethan Head. Don't know why he's down pit road. Don't think it's a scheduled stop. As we said, the drivers should be able to make it to the end. That 0 is slow. No one's working on that car. 48 and 14 pulling away. It's going to be a battle between these two, but Lane cannot let Galloway finish worse than second. 3 wide further back almost, with Roberts now looking under Murray. He wants to end his final race in the NSDCA out with a bang.
Oh yeah, J.J. Roberts wants to go for the glory here at Kansas. And look at this, Eric Monaco, a car that probably has 3 times less the upgrades on that 53 does, slicing past him for P3. How about it for the 0-2 team? And this proves that you just can't give up in the NSDCA. There'll always be a shot.
And Monaco had a great run, would have made the All-Star Open, or would have made the All-Star race had he not been crashed at the All-Star Open. You see Galloway now starting to increase that lead on Colton Lane. It's now out to just about a second now, and Lane starting to fall back fast. Does the 14 have the equipment? I say no. But the battle back here with Austin Johnson, he has to be out of this title now. There's just too many cars in front of him with this pack of drivers.
Bagnaco really backed out up high. He doesn't want to see that 53 go into the wall. His last race for Zachary Racing, he was moving to Toyota, and Shade Burkhart Racing in the 83 next year. But yeah, Jake Galloway, I think it's almost been overlooked this season that he was one of the contenders last year here in the MDCS, as Luke Rainey, or excuse me, Ethan Head might cause some havoc here in the 0-0. But yes, Jake Galloway was one of the championship contenders in the 4, which I think is probably the car Colton Lane's driving this year. Galloway was too far back. He couldn't do anything. This year, he's proved everybody wrong. He's got a new team, new environment, and it seems to be working for him. Even with that midseason slump, his confidence was not to be denied. Jake Galloway, still the favorite.
Galloway out in front. Rainey definitely messing with his mojo. Lane has gained 7/10 the last 2 laps on him, and he's jumping up here. But again, Lane came into this race 3 points behind. That 3-point gap would be the distance from first to second. Galloway has locked up most laps led and has a bonus point for leading a lap. If Lane can get up there and win the race, Galloway has to finish 3rd or worse to win the title, and Galloway has not been out of this race lead in so long. Lane pulling back as Rainey looks like we'll just give Galloway that inside line, and Galloway might just go on and win this title and the race. 6 to go here at Kansas.
I think that's Ethan Head, that 0-0. Last time, those guys are switching around each year, every year. Well, each race this season, I should say. Sorry about that. But Anderson Reed trying to get 3rd away from Eric Monaco. Reed's done all he could this season. Who would have thought? He won at Pocono. He won at Daytona last season. Who would have thought his win this season would have came at Watkins Glen?
His 44 team, it's interesting to note that Anderson Reed has not won a race on a track smaller than 2 miles. Pocono and Daytona, of course, over 2 miles, as well as the road course at Watkins Glen. They have passed Ethan Head in the 0-0. Galloway out in front, Lane in second, and you see it's 3 seconds back to Reed and Monaco. If this 48 survives, no crashes, no mechanical failures, this is his title. If Galloway blows up in these closing laps, just like DJ Gibson last season, it's Lane's championship. As Austin Johnson, he's battling for the 5th spot, but it's too little too late. For the 3 team, look at Gunnar Matheson. He had the mechanical issue on pit road. They must have changed tires. He's up battling inside the top 10 for JRI.
That's just simply incredible. As the hometown boy DJ Curtis about to get passed by the 3. Jake Galloway driving away 3 more times around for the 48 team. Will it be enough?
Texas Star Racing, they have been in the series for all 4 years. They were beat out by the Mountain Dew Custom Series powerhouse Peter Onjak and Onj Auto's number 44. Last season it was Onj Auto's team, the number 40, that took home the victory. Dodge has won 2 of the 3 Mountain Dew Custom Series titles. Texas Star Racing came up 1 point short at Martinsville in season number 1. 2 laps to go. Galloway looking to win the title for JJ and Texas Star Racing. Lane back in second, just too little too late, I think, for him to be able to do anything.
Probably was. It seems like he was losing time trying to make sure that 0-0 didn't stay behind him and try and influence the championship. and now there's just really no more hope. You just got to ride around in second and just take P2 in the standings. It's still an incredible result, and Landon Johnson will be coming back next season to the MDCS. Galloway's moving up to trucks, but one more lap in the Mountain Dew Custom Series season.
Jake Galloway, it's been an exciting year. Many drivers going to victory lane. Galloway, Johnson, and Benyako all winning multiple races this season, as well as underdogs. J.J. Roberts, Stephen Wallace Jr., Jesse Turner, Luke Rainey taking home victories, as well as Colton Lane and Anderson Reed, some powerhouse drivers looking for their chance. But Jake Galloway through 3 and 4, he's gonna do it. Texas Star Racing, their first Mountain Dew Custom Series title goes to Jake Galloway. Colton Lane comes up short in second. Looks like he'll be about 7 points back, but I believe Johnson will maintain P2 in the standings. Just got trapped in the lap traffic for so long, but so many drivers in this field. Jake Galloway, your race winner and Season 4 Mountain Dew Custom Series champion. He came up second in the championship last season and finally brings it home this season for Texas Star Racing and the Great Britain fans.
What a season. Just what a season. J.J. Roberts doing a celebratory lap. That's going to be his lap in the series. What a season. Just what a championship battle. We had great racing, many tracks. Watkins Glen, incredible. There were just so many incredible moments this season. It's just been amazing in my eyes.
And it is the final race of the Mountain Dew Custom Series season, as well as the final race for my own commentary, Mountain Dew Custom Series. Next season, my buddy Peter Onjak will be helping to commentate the Mountain Dew Custom Series. It will be interesting to see how that season goes, and I hope that all of you will enjoy the broadcast as much as you have this season. Many drivers we have to say goodbye to. J.J. Roberts and Camden Luca both stepping down from full-time racing, but Roberts, final race in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, he brings it home a solid, a solid 16th. That's not that solid. But many drivers fought this season hard. Jake Galloway gets to take home the title. Colton Lane and Austin Johnson came up short. Gave us one of the best championship battles we've seen since that Season 1 battle between Peter Onjak, Jay Jefferson, Diego Yepes, and Ryan Butcher. For Peter Onjak, the Mountain Dew Custom Series, and the NSDCA as a whole, we thank you guys so much for watching the Champions 200 at the Kansas Motor Speedway. The Crown Royal Truck Series Champions 350 will be here at Kansas shortly. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time on the NSDCA. Mathis Wells yet in another
Oh my god, you just died.
Shut up.